You know, I was wondering when you did Broom, did you speak to any women who'd been through that in real life?
You know, I'm a big believer in privacy, and I didn't feel like it was my place to invade their space and ask them about that, because ultimately what the story is universal, and I didn't want to get into some sort of invasive crime tale. I had been given some videos of the very rare times that these girls had done public interviews, and they just broke my heart and made me so angry. And that was sort of the fuel for really wanting to put a lot into that interview scene that's at the end of the movie, because I wanted to expose that sense of the way that we are exploiting someone else's tragedy and for our own sort of, it's like the staring at a car crash
But
thing.
why are those things so mesmerizing?
But what was
There's
really
many
interesting,
more.
and it's interesting you're saying that about the film, is that you think, I have to really prepare myself before I watch this. I don't know how I'm going to deal with it as an audience member. But the first third's in the room, and then one of the most horrifying moments is that interview when you realize she's been through such an unimaginable trauma, and now she's going to have to pay for her legal bills by doing this interview. And the blankness with which you played that moment was, for me, in a way, equally as horrifying as the trauma that she went through in the room.
Yeah, I wanted that to also
really
be
powerful.
the scariest she ever looked. You see her with no makeup and like not how you normally see an actress in a film, just like raw skin, clogged pores. I didn't wash my face for a long time to just get it all gross. And at first you're sort of like, oh God, and then you adjust to it. And then by the time she's got makeup on, you're like, why does anyone put makeup on ever? It's the most bizarre thing to me. I think that's when she looks the most horrific. It's the ugliest she ever is. And you would think it would be perhaps in the trauma or when she has just nothing and it's so bare, but in fact, I think it's that stripped downness and the flaw of it that I think that we love so much. I get off on it when I watch it.
Are you even listening to me? When I was a little older, when I was 17, I was walking home from school.
Where was I?
You were still up in heaven. But there was a guy, he pretended that his dog was
What
sick.
guy?
Old Nick. We call him Old Nick. I don't know what his real name is. But he pretended his dog was sick.
What's the dog's name?
Jack, there wasn't a dog. He was trying to trick me. Okay? There wasn't a dog. Old Nick stole me.
I want a different story.
No, this is the story that you get.
I went back to college a couple of times to be a photographer and then an interior designer, and then at the real depths of it, I wanted to be an animal trainer. That was like a real low point. It was a very low point.
For all you animal trainers
That
out
was,
there.
sorry, but that was...
What triggered the lowest point?
I wasn't pretty enough to play the popular girl. I wasn't mousy enough to be the mousy girl. So I never fit in. And so I'd get close, but they'd be like, try these sides or try these. And I wasn't a cliche. So I never got anywhere with anything. And it was really painful. It's a very weird thing. I mean, it's super surreal being at this table right now because my dream was when I was 7. Everybody has dreams. And there's a lot of people that dream of being an actor. And it's I feel like you're constantly questioning yourself with those no's as to, is this another moment that I take and I can use this towards the craft at another time? Or am I just delusional? Am I just completely insane? And what's interesting is how many times I did take a step back, which I am so grateful for, because I think that getting pulled back into it, feeling like you're getting the call is what drives me to act.
How many times have you seen Room?
I've seen it 4, but I think and I want to see it more, but I've gotten...
Why?
Because it means so much more than my little brain can comprehend when I was making it. And you only see it really from, like I lived it through Ma. So now I can see it as a bigger picture. It's like the more I watch it, it feels like my view gets bigger and I see it versus, I mean, the first time I watched it, I felt nothing. I just felt so fascinated by it. It's like a series of images of your life from a year before. We're like, oh, that's what the back of my head looks like.